What's going on, y'all?
Hey everybody.
Back at it, like a crack addict. Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke. But I'm Loke,
And I'm Amanda.
and we're the representatives of Kings and Queens, keeping it 100. Today, this is called our second intro, self worth, and always know your worth. You're a king, you're a queen when you're born, and you'll stay that way until the day the master, the creator, God, the Almighty calls you to go home. Now, we're still going to do our stories, but we're going to introduce you. That's why we're calling it our intro number 2. We're going to introduce you to the drug of choice that me and my wife had when we were sleepwalking. I call it sleepwalking because when you're drinking, using drugs, doing mind altering things. You're not yourself, you're sleepwalking, you're not awake, you're doing what the drug and the substance is telling you to do. You're not yourself. That's taken away, it has taken, if you're doing those things, you're abusing, it's taking away your self worth. So, with that being said, if you know me, if you know of me, I'm a Scarface fanatic. That's my guy. That's my dog. And he died in that movie, showing all the people that were into cocaine what not to do. So, with that being said, he's dead. I'm alive. I stopped it by the grace of God. I started out snorting it. It was around me. I grew up in that era where it just came out, 85. It was like the thing to do. I'm in Cali. I'm doing my thing. So I'm dipping and dabbing with the snorting. Then, like I told you, going back and forth from the West Coast to the South, you know what I'm saying? I already knew what it was doing to folks and how I was getting down with it, because I'm a, former gang member. And, it was making money at that time. That was the process of it. You know what I mean? So then I slowly got introduced to smoking it. Now I'm smoking it. You understand me? Back then, not now. Thanks to God. And that really took me up through there. It just, and a lot of people didn't know that because, I'm a private person. But snorting cocaine is and still is a sociable drug. When you start smoking it, it's something bad. You understand me? It's not something that's, you at a party or you chilling with your peoples, and all of a sudden somebody say, let's smoke some cocaine, let's smoke crack. That's not a good thing. So it was a lot of, ducking and dodging, trying to keep it away from my people, because I never let my loved ones, that was people that meant something to me in my life, ever seen me smoke it. Ever. Never. There's no one ever that will tell you I seen him smoke it. Never, because I kept that very hidden and away from the people that I love and cared about, because like I said, it was considered and still is a bad thing. It'll kill you. It has killed people. It's still killing people. It's not the way to go. You know what I mean? I hurt a lot of people. I hurt myself, first of all. You understand me? So that was my drug of choice, at the time. And like I said, by the grace of God, I can be around it, look at it, and it doesn't even affect me. But it affects me because I see the pain and the struggle and the things that it did to the people that's still doing it. I know what they're going through. You understand me? I was living that life. I was about that life. I've been in situations where I didn't know I was going to make it. You understand me? Shootouts, living in bandos. A bando, for those who don't know, is an abandoned house, building, an apartment that they turn straight into a drug house, a trap house. I was living in those, selling, not knowing if I'm gonna get killed, not knowing if I'm gonna make it home the next day. I'm in there for hours at a time. I treated it like a job, and it was at the time a 9 to 5. Not knowing who's gonna come to the door. I'm serving out the door, the little peephole, the little slot where you slide the money, you get the dope. You understand me? I was doing that, and I'm like, I didn't care. You know what I mean? My mind was like, this is my life, and I did it to the fullest. I'm that type of person. That's my mentality. Anything I do, I'm gonna do it till I can't. I'm gonna take it to the extreme.
Hmm.
My adrenaline, I still do, but I turned that into something positive. You understand me? If I can be a if I can be the best at that, you understand me? I can be the best at anything I put my mind to, and that's how I always been. And if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything. Because I'm proof. I'm here. I'm still doing my thing. I'm blessed. I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful life. You understand me? People come in here in our house. If we introduce you to our house and bring you in our home, it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me to show you and whoever that you can do this too. Everything we have, we got it because we choose to live the life that we're living now. It's always a choice. So you need to understand your self-worth. If that's your lifestyle, I'm not going to judge you. I never will. But I know that you have the potential to be anything you want to be. So we got more stories. Actually, I have a book that's coming out. It's done. It's called Train to Go. I'm going to tell a few stories here, but that book is more into it and exclusive and more detailed because I don't want to just go in on here because, I'm being respectful. But the ones that been through that struggle, you already know what it is. When you read the book, you're gonna be surprised. Like I said, Scarface died. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna die of old age, happy, and loving life. And you can do it too. So that was my drug of choice. And like I said, we still gonna share stories, and that's what it is. So this is our second introduction on our drug of choice when we were out there and doing our thing, baby.
Okay. Hey, I'm Amanda, and today I'm going to talk about what I was addicted to. And first of all, I want to say that I'm a grateful recovering addict, and I'm happy. I'm free. God broke the chains of addiction for me. I'll always be an addict, though. I mean, that's just when you're an addict for the rest of your life, and it's something that you're going to have to fight for the rest of your life and be able to overcome and find the power greater than yourself to help you overcome it. But I was introduced to methamphetamines when I was 25 years old. I had lost my father, Jim Reese, and that, as I've told y'all before in other videos, that tore me apart, which is no crutch for me anymore. I'm using the loss of him as strength and encouragement to stay clean and sober. Just like when he passed away, he saw the person I was. I want to stay that person for him because I know that he sees me. So I was introduced to methamphetamines when I was 25 years old. It was introduced to me. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm going to say one of my former husbands, ex-husbands. I'm not going to mention his name, but I will talk about what I went through at that time because that's a big part of my story. Okay, he was a good bit older than me, and I was hurting at the time. I was in pain, and I was very, very vulnerable. So probably anything that anybody would have introduced to me at that time that I thought it would make me feel better, I probably would have done it. But unfortunately, it was methamphetamine. A lot of y'all know that as a main entrance to hell. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you today, it is. It was for me. When I get into my story, I'm going to tell you some stories that's going to make your skin crawl. And I know there's other people out there that's going through the same thing that I went through. Whether it be a loss of a parent, a loss of a husband, a loss of a wife, a loss of a child. Whether it be, anything that hurts you in your life that you felt like you were going to die that actually broke you. Okay. Um, Growing up, when I was in my younger teenage years, on and off, I would do a little bit of marijuana. Nothing. I never done it every day, but I would do it to look big in front of my friends, or it wasn't anything really that I was trying to bleep out or anything, because there's a lot of things that I dealt with on my own growing up, that I didn't need drugs to deal with, that I knew it was a part of my life and it was something that I had to deal with and I had to overcome, and I did. And I did it. And by the grace of God, I did it. But the death of my father, it broke me. It hurt me really, really bad. I thought it was unexpected. And I'm so much like that man, it's crazy. But I know in my heart, if he knew I was using meth at that time, he would have probably took a belt and wore my butt out. Literally, I never got whoopings from my daddy, but I guarantee you, if he knew what I was doing at that time, yes, he would have beat me. But, so, yeah, meth, I started out smoking it on foil, okay? I'm not trying to trigger nobody, but I'm just telling you my story. Started out smoking it on foil with this former ex-husband of mine. I forgive him for introducing me to that, because I had a choice, just like Melvin said a while ago. Hello, my Melvin. He said a while ago, it's a choice. What we choose to do, that's a choice. I was 25 years old, and I knew better in my heart. I knew better up here. And my conscience was saying, Amanda, don't do it. Don't do it. It's wrong. It's not right. But I was so desperate to find something to help me feel better. I did it. I chose to do it. It's nobody's fault but myself. I forgive him for introducing me to the drug, because that was the gateway for me to walk right into and get addicted to this meth. But I am not blaming him. It's Amanda. It's me. I own that. Okay? That's one of the things that... This is not a 12-step program, but I will be talking about the steps in my story a lot, because the programs that I've been involved in has been the steps, and until I was ready, I didn't apply them to my life. But now, in my everyday life, I start thinking about them, and I start thinking, hey, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, this is step 4. So I am living them, and Melvin is too. I mean, we both, and we own what we did. We don't blame anybody for introducing this to us. Okay, that's the first thing, is admitting it. Second thing, to me, this is not in the steps, but owning what you did, and knowing, that it's you, it's you. You surrounded yourself with someone, and that was your choice. You really knew what they were into. That was your choice. You got involved. That was your choice. Okay, so I started smoking it, as I said, and then this person that introduced me to this stopped contributing the way I wanted him to contribute to me. We'll call it enabling. I'll call it enabling, but he wasn't providing the drugs that I was already, I'd gotten addicted to. And he was going off, and he was getting high, and he was coming home high, and I was sitting there sick. So I stepped out. And I started running with a group of people. And like I said, I'm not going to mention no names. I started running with a group of people. And they introduced me to the needle. So there I was, hurt from my father dying. My marriage had went to hell, which, he was an addict, and I really knew it before I married him, but I married him anyway. I thought I was strong enough. But I got introduced to these people, and I started shooting meth. So that's when my world started really crumbling down around me, okay? by the grace of God, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm happy and I am free. That's just kind of my intro to my life. I just wanted to kind of get y'all familiar with what we're going to be talking about in our stories. And like I said, I'm free from from the chains of addiction. I'm not using. I'm happy, and I'm doing it sober. And with that, I'm going to end this. Melvin, do you have anything else you want to say to these people?
I just want to say, know your self-worth. Remember your self-worth. If you don't know your self-worth, learn it.
Learn it, yes.
Live it. And embrace it.
Yes.
From the Kings and the Queens, salute.